Calling all authors, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, hosted by Robert A. Lane, is on the air, featuring everything you need to know about narrating your own audiobook. But it doesn't stop there. From special guests, including authors and professionals from the book industry, to sharing tools and techniques needed to be a confident and compelling narrator. The journey starts now. So please welcome your host, Robert A. Lane.
And welcome. Glad you're here. This is the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, and I just love talking about the audiobook world to you, the author, because it is such an important piece of your products, right? The products that you provide for your readers and listeners, which is why having an audiobook is so important. That's why on this episode number 100, by the way, 100, we've broken 3 digits. Pretty awesome. Glad to hit that landmark, and which is why I just want to give you an overview about why it is so important for you to have an audiobook. Your voice, your audiobook definitely needs to be in your voice. Whether you're a fiction writer, whether you are a nonfiction writer, you definitely need to have an audiobook. Get my levels set up. Here we go. That's better. All right, so I can help you with that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, which is the program that I've developed that has been touted as one of the best boutique audiobook coaching programs out there, which is great. Thank you so much for the accolades. I do appreciate that, and I am so proud of all the authors who have gone through the program who have done such a fantastic job, and I can help you too as well. So I will talk about the program a little bit more in detail. You can always go to robertlanecoaching.com to find out more information. Check out the links in the description wherever you're listening to this podcast on, or if you're watching one of the video versions, which is on YouTube and also LinkedIn. By the way, if you want to check out the podcast on YouTube, you can. I archive all the podcasts there as well if you want to see the video portion. Okay. But anyway, why you need to have an audiobook? Well, the one thing that I always say and will continue to say, and because it is so important, and that is that it needs to be in your voice because it is your story. No one can tell your story better than you. Nobody. Even a fiction book, you wrote it and you know the ins and outs of your characters that you've created. I just finished with an author who published her book. It's called Ghost Flower. And it's a great fiction story. It's time travel and pandemics and all sorts of things. And it's actually pretty cool. So again, the author knows the story. And the best person to narrate a book like that, even a fiction book, was the author. And that is why it is so crucial for you to narrate your own audiobook, because again, there are subtleties and nuances and things that you do to express yourself, and the way your characters, again, if it's a fiction book, the way your characters interact with each other and how they express and how they talk to each other. You as the author are the only person who really knows and understands the ins and outs of these characters. You know, it's like in acting. In acting, they tell you, create a backstory for your character. You know, where did they grow up? How was their life? Who were their friends? All that stuff. And even though it may be fictional for the character that you're playing, you have this backstory to pull from, which again affects your performance because you're utilizing this backstory to create the mood and the emotions and the expressions of what you do as an actor. Narrating an audiobook, there's no difference. It's the same thing. You are bringing your unique style into your narration. And, again, fiction characters, you're the one who wrote it, so you know these characters. You know their backstory. You know how to communicate their dialogue when you do your narration to get across the personality that they are. Now, of course, those of you who are nonfiction authors, whether you have written a memoir or you're a coach or an entrepreneur or maybe even a children's book writer or a teacher or an educator, and you are talking about, it could be not, whatever the nonfiction topic is, again, it's your story, especially a memoir. You're going to have somebody else narrate your memoirs? No, of course not. No, it has to be you. Has to be you because you are the storyteller. And not only are you the storyteller, you lived the experience. Also, if you're a coach or an entrepreneur or an educator or a teacher and you've created a coaching program or you have a certain way of how you teach and how you communicate a program that you've created, or maybe you talk about geography, but you're creative in the way that you speak about it, or maybe you have a book about math, right, or algebra or calculus or whatever, but you can still make it entertaining. It's your unique style and your unique personality, which is your unique stamp that you're putting on to your narration. And only you can do that. That's why you narrate your own audiobook, because only you can create this in your own voice. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so crucial. And don't wait, right? You are a business person. You are an entrepreneur. You published a book. You've written and you've published a book. That automatically puts you as an entrepreneur. Embrace that fact. It's such a great thing to have this business. You, as an author brand, you are the brand. Your book is your product. And the formats that you publish your book in, your ebook, your paperback, your hardcover, and especially your audiobook, is crucial. That's you. This is what represents you. And as a business person, you need to make awesome decisions to move your business forward. And the number one great thing that you can do, whether you've just written a book or maybe you published a book 10 years ago, the best business decision that you can make for your author brand is turning that book into an audiobook if you haven't done it already. Turn that book into an audiobook. And don't wait, okay? Don't wait. If it's the end of the year, right? It's the end of the year and you're making New Year's resolutions. Don't make a resolution. Make a business plan, okay? Have a business plan. Say, you know what? I am going to narrate my own audiobook. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to put it out there. If it's a book that you recently published, definitely put it out there. You got to hit that market. Or, again, if you have a book that you released, 10 years ago, even longer, it doesn't matter. Resurrect it. Bring it back to life. Put it in the forefront of people's minds. Let people know that this book exists. It was a great book when you wrote it. So relaunch it. Use turning it into an audiobook as a great tool, a great marketing tool to turn people on to you as an author. And they're like, "Whoa, I didn't even know you had this book. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, now there's an audiobook version of it? This is awesome. This is great. This is awesome. I want to buy this book. I'm going to buy this audiobook." Oh, it's the author. It's the author who's narrating the audiobook. Awesome. I get to hear it from the source. I get to hear it from the person who actually wrote it. And that's another great reason why you need to narrate your own audiobook, because you want it to come from the source. It comes from you. It comes from you. No one can tell your story better than you. I say that a million times, but it's so true. I know I say this as well. Yes, there are great narrators out there. There are very talented voiceover people out there. But most books don't need, fancy or voices and characters and whatever, even for fiction books. And even for your nonfiction book, if you have different people that are in the book, and maybe there is some dialogue in it, you narrate it. It's the content that you created, so you need to tell the story. You just need to tell the story. You have the voice to do it, okay? Even though there are great narrators out there, they're going to be missing the mark, right? There's this disconnect, right? You're connected when you are narrating your audiobook, but then if you have someone else narrate it, it's a disconnect. It's a disconnect because there's emotional aspects of your book, of your story that they're not going to get. They're going to miss it. They'll technically sound good, but from an emotional standpoint, which is those intangibles, which again, intangibles are the secret sauce that takes an audiobook from just being mediocre or average to fan freaking tastic, putting it up on the charts. That is, man, this is awesome. Yes, only you can do that because another narrator is going to miss that mark and they aren't going to miss the subtleties. They're not going to understand it, especially if you have published a memoir. Those are your experiences. Those are yours. No one can experience it the way you did. That's how you interpreted it. This is why you put your unique voice into your written word. Narrating your own audiobook is just bringing the voice to life, your voice to life. And let's crush those false beliefs. I don't have a great voice. Not true. Not true. False belief. I have an accent. So what? False belief if you think that that's going to hinder your audiobook. Matter of fact, it's going to give your audiobook character because that's who you are. I don't like how I sound. False belief. No one cares as much as you think they do in regards to how you sound. Okay? I mean, if Fran Drescher does an audiobook and she's talking like she did with her character as the nanny, that old TV show, right? I bet you people would still listen to her audiobook because she would have a story to tell. What if Marge Simpson did an audiobook? I bet you'd still listen to it because it's Marge and her funky voice is part of who Marge Simpson is. And that gives Marge Simpson character. I guess literally it is a character, a cartoon character. But the point is, of course, that you're not having to worry about how you sound and thinking that other people are going to just be, oh, that's so horrible, because that's not true. It's part of who you are. Your voice is a crucial part of your author brand. Remember that. Your voice is a crucial part of your author brand. That's who you are. Your author brand is everything that encompasses who you are, and your voice is way up at the top. The top two, right? Number one is your voice, really. It really is. And hey, Travis, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining in. Yeah, it's really true. And the one thing that really hits home for me, and just for authors in general, is that this is your story, and you're leaving your legacy in your own voice for generations, right? For people to discover you, for generations to come. 100 years from now, someone can find your audiobook and hear you tell your story in your own voice, coming from the source, coming from first person. It's, I mean, think of it this way. There's been so many books written about famous people, right? Leonardo da Vinci, right? How many people have art critics or whoever have written about Leonardo da Vinci? What if we had this technology that we have today and Leonardo da Vinci wrote a book? Wouldn't you rather hear him tell his story, give his insights for who he is, coming from the source, than actually reading or maybe even hearing someone tell it, from third person, or coming from second person even, right? Someone who did not live the experience. It's different. It's different. That's why it really is so important for you to narrate your book. Just, it's your story. I really can't hit that hard enough. Because I do hear people talking about, and even the authors that I work with, part of the audiobook coaching that I teach in my program, we start with mindset, because it really does start from believing in yourself, believing in your voice, believing who you are, understanding that your voice is a crucial part of your author brand, because that's who you are. That all encompasses who you are, your belief systems, how you were brought up, your morals, your values, all these things that make up who you are is part of your author brand, because that's what makes you unique. And that's the other thing, and that's what allows you to stand out in the crowd, because we're saturated with a lot of stuff. So, for example, let's say you are a weight loss coach, and there's a lot of weight loss coaches out there. What's going to allow you to stand out in the crowd? You narrating your weight loss book that you published, right? About maybe your coaching program. What makes you stand out? Because it's your personality, it's your uniqueness. Why does one person resonate with one coach yet doesn't resonate with another? It's because of the intangibles. It's the uniqueness. It's your uniqueness. That's what allows you to stand out in a crowd, and that's why it's so important to again just embrace entrepreneurship, love the fact that you are an author brand, and appreciate this wonderful sound that comes out of your body. Because we know what it really comes down to is content. It comes down to content. What is it that you have to say? What is the story that you want to tell? The authors that I've worked with, most of them, I've had a few coaches, but most of them have written personal stories. A lot of them are memoirs, and some of them are pretty intense. I have stories that I've worked on with authors. There were a couple of them who went through cancer journeys, pretty intense stuff. But another narrator, guess what? You cannot narrate a book like they can because they lived that experience. Again, that's what I'm talking about in regards to that disconnect of having another narrator. And please don't go the AI route, because when you do that, you've just sucked the life out of who you are. AI is soulless. Even when you go for that voice cloning stuff, it's still soulless. Okay, it really is. And you need to do it in your own voice, because that's who you are. It's part of who you are. That human factor really does make a huge difference. It may be subtle, but it does make a huge difference. So don't cut corners. If you cut, I know you didn't cut corners when you wrote your book. Why would you cut corners for doing the audiobook? Put the work in, do it, just go for it. All right. The other thing that I want to share with you is if you are interested, by the way, in turning your book into an audiobook, I'd love to help you. I'd love to talk to you more about the process of what it takes to create an audiobook. Again, there's links in the description. Book a call. Book a call with me. I'd love to talk with you. You will talk with me directly. I work with all my authors who go through the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. I work with them one-on-one if they go for the VIP program. There is a DIY version of the program that I teach. If you want to do it yourself, or you do your own editing and uploading and all that stuff, I teach you step by step. But most of the authors actually go for the VIP version, where I work with each author one-on-one. I don't send you off to an intern or some other team member. You work with me directly, and I take my 30 plus years experience of not only working in the entertainment business, but doing audio. I've been an audio guy for many, many, many years, and it's really fulfilling. I love doing what I do because it's just super fulfilling to take these skills and then apply them to your audiobook so that you sound fantastic and you have a great product for people to enjoy. It is the gift that keeps on giving, right? It really is. So if you are interested, book a call with me. Would love to talk with you. The Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, just a quick overview, is basically the VIP program is it's a 12-week intensive. And I work with you. We meet every week. We have meetings every week to make sure that you're on track. I teach you the fine art of how to do a great narration, teaching you about building confidence and loving your voice and appreciating this wonderful sound that comes out of your body that is part of your uniqueness, which is, again, a crucial part of your author brand. And then here's the thing, though. As you record your audiobook, you're sending your audio files to me, and then the coaching hat comes off, the audio editor's hat goes on, and I go through every audiobook in real time, listening to everything. If there is a mouth noise that's distracting, I'm going to remove it. If there's any other kind of cleanup that needs to be done, I will remove it. I also, and every editor, a good editor should do this, you have to listen to everything in real time, because what if there's a slurred word? What if there's a mispronunciation? What if there is too much of a gap between a paragraph or even a sentence? Or what if there's something that's rushed? There are some companies that are like, oh, well, we'll clean up your audio, then we'll get back to you in a couple hours. And that's a big red flag, because that means they're not listening to it. They're just throwing it into some kind of a restoration program that's missing out on some of these other subtleties. They're not going to catch a slurred or mispronounced word. They're not going to catch these little things. And that's why you have to listen to it in real time. And that's what I do. Not only do I listen to it in real time, when I output the audio, of course, making sure that it all meets the exact specifications for publication, because I've seen this happen. Authors even have gone to studios where they recorded and then they upload their audiobook and it gets rejected because it didn't meet the specs. And there are very specific specifications that you have to be, or that your audiobook has to be, to get on Audible, Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Rakuten, wherever you want your audiobook. There are specifications that need to be met. And you need to have somebody who knows and understands that. So I do that for the authors. I do all the editing for them. I probably spend a minimum of 80 to 100 hours of editing time in real time, obviously depending on the size of the book, but that's what you do. You give your best, and that's what I do. I give my best to you so that you have a fantastic product. And then I upload your audiobook for you into Audible, Amazon, Apple, and any other distribution platform that you want to be on, so that I know for sure that you will be published correctly, properly the first time. No issues, no nothing. Let me do the heavy lifting. I'll handle it. If there is any issue, I'll know about it. I know what adjustments to make, re-output a new file, which I do listen to that. That's what I can call a QC pass, quality control pass, where my final output after I do the mixing and editing is in real time again, to make sure that everything is sounding exactly the way it should be. And that's what you do. And then we talk about some marketing strategies and things that you can do to promote your audiobook. So, again, the first step is just booking a call. Again, links in the description here on LinkedIn and YouTube and any of the other podcast platforms that you're checking out this podcast on. And again, you can always go to robertlanecoaching.com. That's the podcast, which we will be continuing on at this time. I don't know why that graphic popped up, but it did. Those of you who are listening to the audio version, no worries. Anyway, you can go to robertlanecoaching.com to find out more about what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. Now, I do want to wish you success, and you deserve success for all the time and effort that you spent as an author, working on your book, getting it published, creating your author brand, maybe building an author website, getting yourself out there and promoting yourself as an author. I think it's great. So just take it to the next level and create an audiobook in your own voice, because you do have what it takes. Oh, by the way, just a quick little note. Those of you who, or any author who goes into the VIP program, that 12-week program I just talked about, I provide you with the equipment that you need. Professional microphone, professional headphones. And I don't mean cheapy, $100, $150, Yeti mic or whatever it is that you have. No, I'm giving you about $400 worth of gear, and that's part of the program, which is yours to keep. You don't pay extra for it. It's yours to keep. And I teach you how to set up your own recording space, all of that. And of course, and even before I give you the green light to record, you send me a sample to make sure that everything sounds good, everything meets the specifications it needs to meet before I give you the green light to go ahead and narrate. And then again, I work with you through the entire 12-week process of creating an awesome audiobook. So just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, I do want to wish you a lot of success as an author, because I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. Really, the message is, do your own audiobook in your own voice. No one can tell your story better than you, period. That's the message, all right? Your voice, your audiobook. So again, I look forward to speaking with you. And just another quick little fact before we wrap things up here, and that is the audiobook world has been growing and expanding at an exponential rate over the last several years, averaging between 26, 27% growth every year. Revenue growth, matter of fact, in 2019, audiobook revenue surpassed ebook revenue, and the gap continues to widen. So people listen to audiobooks. People go to audiobooks first before they even go to the other formats of your book. All right? They really do. And they ask for it by brand name. Hey, can I get your book on Audible? Are you on Barnes & Noble? Can I go to Apple Books and get your audiobook? Can I go to Amazon? Yes, you can, and you should. All right, my friends, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting Robert Lane Coaching's podcast. I do a coffee chat, by the way, every Thursday. When do I do that? At 9:30 a.m. Pacific. That's 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. in the UK. Join me for that. I do that every Thursday. Keep it very short and open forum. And if you have any questions about the audiobook world, by all means, come on over. And if you ever do have any questions, you can always leave a comment or reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you as well. All right. My last assignment to you, and this is something that you need to do every day, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment. That small gesture of kindness goes a long way, and you can really make somebody's day. You don't know what people are going through. We all walk around wearing this mask. Everything's great, and we smile, but you know what? Maybe we're having a bad day. Maybe somebody's having a bad day, or maybe someone is suffering. Maybe there is something that's even more entrenched. Sadness, whatever it is, depression. And just by saying hello and giving a compliment and giving a smile can make somebody feel good about themselves and have a much better day. So be good humans. Be good humans. Thank you so much. I'm Robert A. Lane. This is the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. Check out the links in the descriptions. There's a link about the VIP program, the DIY program. Book a call. That link is there. We'd love to, and follow me on YouTube as well. Those of you who are listening on other platforms, go over to the YouTube channel, Robert Lane Coaching, and subscribe. All right. Have a great, great week. And we'll be talking to you next week here on the Your Book, Your Voice podcast.
This has been Your Book, Your Voice with host Robert A. Lane. Tune in each week for another powerful and informative episode. And remember, only you can narrate your story the way it's meant to be heard.